She is arguably the most beautiful face carved in the ancient world. 3,000 years old, and she is still breaking the internet every time someone posts her portrait, which is frankly embarrassing for the rest of us. 3,000 years, no skincare routine, flawless. She is Queen Nefertiti, wife of the sun-worshipping Pharaoh Akhenaten, possible ruler of Egypt in her own right, and stepmother to the boy king Tutankhamun. We know what she looked like. We have the art. We have the name. We have, controversially, her famous bust sitting in a museum in Berlin, thousands of miles from home. Egypt has been asking for it back since 1924. Germany has been saying, "We'll think about it," ever since. 100 years of thinking. But here's the thing, nobody tells you. We have never, definitively, found her body. The most recognized face from the ancient world. And we have no idea where she is buried. So, let's go find her. There's still more to discover. Dive deeper with our Gumroad companion guides. The full story, the hidden details, and everything worth knowing. And if history looks good on you, our merch links are waiting in the description below. And now, back to our story. Nefertiti lived around 1370 to 1330 BC, give or take. The ancient Egyptians were not big on keeping birth certificates. She married Pharaoh Akhenaten, and together they did something radical. They scrapped Egypt's entire religion. Thousands of gods, centuries of tradition, gone. Now there was one god, the Aten, the sun disk. The priests were, as you can imagine, absolutely thrilled about this. Nefertiti wasn't just a royal accessory. She appears in temple art, doing things only pharaohs did, smiting enemies, leading religious ceremonies, driving chariots into battle. She is literally depicted hitting people with a mace while wearing a war crown. She was not standing quietly at the back. Many historians now believe that when Akhenaten died, Nefertiti didn't retire. She ruled, possibly under the name Nefertiti, possibly as a full pharaoh for at least 3 years. And then she vanished from the record. No funeral, no tomb inscription with her name, no verified mummy, nothing. You might be thinking, Egypt has thousands of mummies. How hard can it be? Extremely hard, it turns out. Nearly every royal tomb in the Valley of the Kings was raided, in antiquity, not by 19th century archaeologists, but by ancient Egyptian tomb raiders, sometimes within a century of the burial. When they looted, they stripped the gold, moved the bodies, ripped off the name labels, destroyed the inscriptions. Later priests tried to collect and recache surviving royals in mass storage tombs. Mummies stacked like leftover takeaway. Genuinely, archaeologists have found royal mummy caches where bodies were just tucked in the corner like someone ran out of shelf space. And then there's Nefertiti's specific problem. The Amarna period, her husband's religious revolution, was so despised by later pharaohs that they erased it almost completely. Temples demolished, names chiseled off, records burned. We don't even know for certain who her parents were. 3,000 years of being the face on the bust, and history basically said, but make sure nobody knows the details. Over the years, researchers have pointed at several mummies and said, that one, it's definitely her. Let's go through the lineup. Candidate 1. The Elder Lady, KV35, found in 1898 in a side chamber of tomb KV35, originally Amenhotep II's tomb, later used as a royal mummy storage unit. 2 women and a child were tucked in a side room. The Elder Lady was proposed as Nefertiti for decades. She looked regal. The theory was serious. And then in 1976, a lock of hair found in Tutankhamun's tomb was compared to hers, and it matched Queen Tai, Tutankhamun's grandmother, not Nefertiti. So, nice try, but no. Candidate 2. The Younger Lady, KV35, also found in KV35, in that same crammed side chamber. In 2003, Egyptologist Joanne Fletcher caused a full media storm by announcing this mummy was Nefertiti. There was a Discovery Channel documentary. Fletcher was briefly banned from excavating in Egypt over the controversy. Academic politics. It's basically a royal mummy situation, but the daggers are metaphorical. The theory rested on a shaved head with a Nubian-style wig nearby, 2 ear piercings matching Nefertiti's portraits, and the damaged face, broken jaw, smashed nose, suggesting deliberate damnatio memoriae, erasing someone's memory by destroying their face. Later, DNA analysis confirmed the younger lady was Tutankhamun's biological mother, but Nefertiti is not confirmed as Tutankhamun's biological mother. CT scans by an Egyptian team also revealed bone fragments inside the sinus cavity. The face wasn't destroyed as punishment. It was an accident or tomb damage. Verdict: possible, still not confirmed. Candidate 3, KV21A and KV21B, Tomb KV21, Valley of the Kings, 2 unnamed female mummies. In 2022, archaeologist Zahi Hawass, Egypt's most famous, most theatrical, and most announcement-prone Egyptologist, told the world he had found her. He then promised a full confirmation in October. That was October 2022, then 2023, then 2024, then 2025. As of early 2026, no confirmed announcement has been made. Zahi Hawass announcing Nefertiti is basically a seasonal event at this point. It happens, we note it, we wait, we move on. KV21B is aged around 45, consistent with Nefertiti's estimated age at death. DNA places her in the 18th dynasty royal family, but she could equally be Nefertiti's sister Mutnojmet or another wife of Akhenaten. Close, still not confirmed. If the mummy is hard to find, the tomb is even more elusive. Because we are not sure she even has one in the Valley of the Kings. If Nefertiti died before Akhenaten, which some scholars believe, she would have been buried in Amarna, the city they built together in the desert. That city was later demolished. Its tombs were stripped. If she outlived him and ruled as Pharaoh, which others believe, she might have a kingly tomb in the Valley of the Kings, perhaps with a man's name above the door. Archaeologists have occasionally found royal tombs and realized, mid-excavation, that the name belonged to a woman who had been ruling as a man. Egypt's gender reveal parties hit different when you're digging. In 2015, British Egyptologist Nicholas Reeves proposed a theory that shook the field. There might be a hidden chamber behind the north wall of Tutankhamun's tomb. The theory was that Nefertiti was buried first in what became KV62, and Tutankhamun was tucked in afterward, in a rushed burial in her outer chamber. Ground-penetrating radar scans were conducted. The results were inconclusive. Some suggested voids behind the wall, others did not. Currently, Hawass's team is excavating near the tomb of Hatshepsut in the eastern Valley of the Kings. He says he has a feeling she's there. In archaeology, a feeling is also known as a grant proposal. There's a reason the world is obsessed with finding Nefertiti. It's not just archaeology, it's identity. Her famous bust, one of the most recognized sculptures on Earth, has been in the Neues Museum in Berlin since 1913. Egypt has been asking for it back for over a century. The argument from Egypt: the bust was removed under disputed circumstances. It represents Egyptian identity, and its rightful home is the Grand Egyptian Museum in Cairo, which opened in 2023. Germany's argument: it's legally theirs, and it's too fragile to move. It's fragile is a surprisingly versatile argument when someone asks you to give back something you don't want to return. Finding Nefertiti's mummy would be one of the most significant archaeological events of the century. It would also reignite every conversation about who owns ancient history and who gets to tell it. That conversation is already happening. It's getting louder. So, where is she? The younger lady, KV 21B, a hidden chamber, a tomb we haven't found yet? Drop your theory in the comments. And genuinely, this is one of those mysteries that could be solved in our lifetime. Someone watching this video right now might live to see the day Nefertiti is finally identified. And when that day comes, before we forget, we told you this story first. If you made it this far, you clearly have excellent taste. Stories like this deserve to be remembered and shared. Like, subscribe, and tap the bell so the next forgotten story finds its way back to you. And if you want to carry a little piece of history with you, our merch is waiting in the links below.